begins in silence, not the peaceful kind, but the deep and ancient hush that clings to forgotten catacombs beneath old cities. The air hangs thick, almost damp, carrying the scent of tallow smoke, cold limestone, and the faint ghost of incense burned centuries ago. Somewhere far above, the world hums with light, but down here, in the sunken bowels of a monastery long erased from maps, time has no meaning. The corridor curves like a serpent, dim and low-roofed, lit only by iron sconces, coughing out sputtering flame. Every few steps, symbols emerge in the flicker, veiled faces, broken keys, suns stitched with thorns. These marks were never meant to be read, only endured. He walks barefoot, the chill of the stones biting into the soft arches of his feet. His skin is marked from fasting, his breath shallow from weeks of silence. His eyes are blindfolded with ash-stained linen. His hands, loosely bound in front with red cord, tremble slightly, not from fear, but from the weight of what comes next. Two figures walk beside him, tall and hooded, their faces hidden in folds of wool so dark it swallows even firelight. One carries a staff of twisted yew, the other a brass bowl filled with dark liquid that smells faintly of myrrh and rusted iron. They do not speak. They haven't spoken since they arrived at his cell before dawn and led him here. He doesn't know who they are, only that they are not men, but thresholds. The passage ends before a door. It is ancient, warped and cracked, bound in bands of blackened iron. No handle, no hinge, only a carved triangle coiled in serpents. The blindfold is removed, and for the first time in hours he sees. Stone soaked in centuries of breath, flame flickering like nervous spirits, dust dancing on the edge of sight. A single word is spoken in Latin, intus, go within. The door groans open with a sound like wood remembering its pain. Beyond it lies a round chamber, domed, echoing with old silence. 12 iron sconces line the curved walls, their light barely touching the center. A hexagonal table waits there, scarred and ancient, its surface darkened by use. Upon it rest 3 objects, a curved dagger, a bone-white mask, and a bowl filled with fine black ash. The robed guides step back. He walks forward alone. He kneels, unbidden, not from command but instinct, as if his bones have done this before, in some life forgotten or erased. A bell tolls once, low and distant, then again, and then a third time. From the shadows, 12 robed figures emerge, silent and watchful. They take their places along the edge of the chamber. The fire is lit not by flint, but by breath. A black candle is placed in his hand, heavy, dripping with old wax, and the wick blooms into a steady flame as if awakened. The chamber flickers again, and in that dim, breathing light, the faces of the 12 seem to shift. Their masks are smooth, featureless, but behind them something watches. He is told to walk the circle, one slow step at a time. The floor is cold beneath his bare feet, each stone marked with symbols that sting his memory. A spiral, a bell, a mouth sewn shut. At each point, one of the 12 raises a hand and offers no words, only an image, or a gesture, or a scent. One holds a bowl of salt, another presses a bird's skull into his palm, another weeps. No explanations are given. This is not a rite of understanding. It is a rite of undoing. At the end of the circle, he returns to the center. The mask is placed over his face, bone, cool to the touch, carved with fine lines that radiate like veins. It fits perfectly, too perfectly. With it on, the world dims. The candlelight turns redder. The chamber seems larger, deeper, as though it sinks beneath the weight of unseen centuries. From behind the mask, he can hear the bell again, only this time it is inside him. It tolls with each breath, louder with each beat of his heart. Then the voices begin, not spoken but heard, not singular but many, layered like smoke across water. They say nothing he can repeat. They whisper in symbols, they speak of things lost beneath time, kings buried without names, cities drowned before memory, fires kept alive in silence. He is laid upon a slab of black stone. His wrists rest at his sides, open and trusting. One by one, the 12 draw marks upon him using ash and oil. Some marks are curved, others jagged. Some resemble letters, but none that exist in this world. The symbols burn slightly, not with heat, but with presence, as though they are not being written, but revealed. A bell tolls again. A thorn is produced. It pierces the pad of his thumb. The blood is drawn into a vial, already half filled with crimson oil. It swirls when corked, as if alive. That vial, they say, will never be seen again. It will be buried in stone, not as proof of passage, but as a warning to those who follow. The final act is the offering of the mirror, not made of glass, but obsidian polished to a black so deep. There is no farewell, no dismissal, only descent. A narrow tunnel opens beyond the chamber, a spiral stair carved directly into the rock, slick with moss and the memory of rainfall. He descends slowly, holding a single candle, its flame bent slightly by unseen breath. The stone around him drips. Every step echoes upward, as if time itself were recording his movement. Far behind, the bell tolls one last time, soft, as though underwater. At the base of the stair, the path opens into a vast chamber. The ceiling disappears into shadow, but stars are carved above, not real ones, but constellations of the forgotten. Serpent crowns, shattered swords, veiled moons, they glimmer faintly in the dark, painted in crushed crystal and gold leaf. The ground is soft with ash and covered in thin roots, reaching through stone like veins. In the center stands the altar, low, circular, carved from obsidian. Upon it rests a single open book. Its pages are blank, but pulsing. Around the edges of the altar, relics sit on weathered pedestals. A child's shoe, a ring split in half, a scroll sealed in blood. All of them are silent witnesses. 3 figures approach, different from the 12, taller, older, bare-faced. Their eyes are not cruel, but ancient. One holds the book, one carries the bone quill, one holds the vial of his blood. The first speaks, his voice low as earth. This is the book of what must not be spoken. The second offers the quill, carved from a rib, sharpened with iron. The third opens the vial and lets a single drop fall onto the page. The page absorbs it, then pulses red, waiting. He signs, not with a name, but with the symbol given to him earlier. a circle wrapped in thorns. It is not handwriting, it is surrender. The page consumes the ink. A veil is lowered over his head, thin, black, nearly transparent. Through it, the world seems distant, blurred. He is led to the wall, where a door of stone waits, carved with symbols no man has spoken in 500 years. The candle is taken from him. He walks into the dark alone. And in that breathless black, deeper than death, colder than night, he begins to smile.